Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. Got an awesome Adirondack overnighter planned for today with the guys, and we are back on a section of the Northville Placid Trail that John and I took last August. So pretty excited to be back on the trail, even more excited to have an awesome adventure with some great friends. Stick around, hope you enjoy it. So for this adventure, while the trail is awesome and, I'm glad to be on it, or off it at this point. Missed my turn. Pay attention, guys. The fun part of the trip is actually the destination. We are heading out to the West Stony Creek lean-to, which is fairly new. I think it was built in 2018 maybe. And we're gonna have a great night out there. We have 4 of us, and it's a single night overnight trip, and I'm pretty sure each backpack is heavier than it was when each of us was on the NPT. Some crazy stuff in these packs, but all because we wanted to have a fun, delicious, and interesting night at the lean-to. So it's gonna be good. Check this out. These 2 trees are completely different species. We got birch and hemlock, and they decided to grow together, or at least very close to each other at the base, and they're very healthy trees. Awesome. So John is known for what I'll say is overpacking, right? But you decided to leave the 50 pounds of snacks at home today, right?
Yeah, definitely a lot less snacks today.
Yeah? How heavy is your pack, though?
I haven't weighed it, but this light pack must weigh about 95 pounds probably. It's got to be a base weight of 95
pounds, yeah. So, he's not going to cut off any of the tags to save a couple grams, so that's... that's
no,
kind
I
of...
did. I got my ultralight titanium spork, my ultralight arm steel hammock straps.
Did you bring the titanium hammer?
I did not bring the ultralight tent stake hammer. That stayed at home on the wall today.
That's so funny.
Next time when I don't have my cooking vessel that I'll reveal later, maybe I'll bring that.
It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for the reveal. So it's going to be good. We are about maybe 3/4 of a mile from camp. So just been walking through the woods. It's been pretty fantastic, actually. It's funny because when John and I did this on the first leg of the NPT last year, I don't remember much of this trek. So it's nice to be back out here. It's good stuff.
Enjoying it a lot more right now than I did then.
Yes, I'm sure. So
I don't know why, but
all right, we're gonna keep moving and get to camp.
Down up the daisy. Into. I remember being here and being like, oh, maybe we should camp here for the night. Nah, let's get some more miles into our belt.
All right, we made it to West Stony Creek. Found the sign that says lean-to pointing that way. From the reports that I found online, I don't know if there's markings other than the orange wraps on the trees. So if you're coming out to the West Stony Creek lean-to, pay attention to those and enjoy your trip. I'm so excited that we're here. That means the fun can begin. Let's go. Hey, there's a bunch of wood. Hey, we got wood.
Look at this lean-to.
Oh man, whole tree right there.
Ooh. Challenge accepted.
We're at camp. First thing we have to do is set up our sleeping area. So, got my hammock, my tarp, and my quilts. Let's see how this goes. So I decided to actually do a front porch mode on the tarp. Let's check this out.
I decided I love my top rope.
It's not perfect, but it'll definitely do for the night. I'm actually pretty excited about this. So now that the hammock is up, tarp's up, I'm gonna put my underquilt on and then just lay my top quilt out so that it can start to loft up. For me, the way I do it is I look for the hammock gear tag and I put that on my head end. My hammock is set up with red am steel on the head end, so red equals head, and that's where I put this. So it's just for me. It might be different for you, and you kind of figure it out as you go along. There's a lot of fiddle factor when it comes to hammock setups, so that's what I found out. Now I'm ready for sleeping. Now that my hammock is all set up, let's go check out what the other guys have going on. John's over messing with his setup, so let's go look at it right now.
All right. So today's gonna be my first day in my new 11-foot hammock. It's the $50 Amazon one by Ridge Outdoor Gear, which all the Facebook hammock forums have said have been really good. I've napped on it a few times in my backyard. It's been awesome, but it's the first time I actually have it out. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited about it. It's so much more comfortable than my 9 or 10 foot, whatever other one I had. I forget what the Grand Trunk Skater Beater. It's a lot better than that. I'm also trying out some new straps. I got these E&O lightweight straps rather than these big straps right here. So we're testing those out today. They should be able to hold my weight. Got a new tarp.
It's a good thing you brought those just in case.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was going to bring the pad instead of the underquilt in case I had to go to the ground in case they broke. But instead of that, I went underquilt and backup straps rather than the pad. So we're going with just underquilt all the way today. I'm also testing out a new tarp. This is some REI co-op one, but I know it's like 12 feet long, I think, to cover the 11-foot hammock, so that looks pretty good. I also got the nice little cell phone clip down in here, if you can get that. I think that's from Dutchware or something like that. Hold your cell phone. You can watch movies and stuff. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we're getting there. We got our pillow, which is also a dry bag. Got a bunch of clothes stuffed in there right now. So should be a awesome sleep. I can't wait to try out the 11-foot.
It's nice. All right, cool. Let's go check out Dan's setup because this should be interesting as well. The first time Dan slept in a hammock was when we did the Northville Placid Trail together. And so you've had one full night in a hammock.
And I decided that I was going to go spend a lot of money because, you know what, it is probably the most comfortable night's sleep I have ever had, even while camping. This is a mostly E&O setup I got from REI. I Googled around, I did a lot of research, and then I had it narrowed down to a hammock gear setup and this one, and it came out like $40 cheaper. It's got the ProFly rain tarp that is as long as, I think it's only a 10-foot hammock, but I'm not nearly as tall as John. What it does have that I'm excited about is the built-in bug net and this cool just aluminum tent bar that goes in and helps keep the bug net off your face while you're sleeping.
Man, that is awesome. That's very cool. I had not seen one of those before. That's neat.
It is the first night in it. I'm kind of excited, and I'm kind of hopeful that all that money was totally worth it. But I'll tell you what, it is a lot lighter to carry than my old backpacking tent was.
Looks like a really good setup, and I'm excited for him. Of the 4 of us, 3 of us are hammock campers. Let's go check out Mark's tent. Finding a flat spot in the West Stony Creek lean-to area was a little difficult, so Mark's pretty far off the beaten path, but we've got his tent set up, and he's going to tell us about it.
So, unlike everybody else here that prefers the hammocks, I still haven't actually technically tried one. Partially because I got Daisy.
Daisy girl.
And a hammock with a dog doesn't sound like any kind of intelligent idea. And maybe I'd really like it, and then I'd not want to bring Daisy because I'd want a hammock, and that's not fair. So I stick with the tent for now. I do have a ground tarp under there. It's a little small, but I do recommend that for when you have any kind of damp ground, and it helps with some of the insulation layer. It's a pretty old tent. It's Eureka. I've had it probably 15 years.
So what you're saying is it's not ultralight.
It is not ultralight. It is far from ultralight. I've thought about upgrading a couple of times. It's been serving its purpose, but standard dome pole setup. So the poles add some weight, the stakes add some weight. So it does have some of that to it. But space-wise, I'm tall, if you didn't notice. So this one does give me more of that leg room for me to be able to lay down. So I get my setup going. I have my mat, blow up. It is light. My mattress is the only thing I think that's new within the last 5 years. So it's easy to blow up by hand. And then I bring a little blanket that Daisy carries herself for her to lay next to me. And usually she ends up on top of me. But that's my setup over here.
Nice. I really like the vestibule on this tent. It's quite cool. A lot of the newer tents just have the one zipper right in the middle, and you can roll one side. I like the 2 zipper approach. That's kind of cool. And it's actually worked out really well because I've put my boots under here when we were doing some hiking in the past. So it's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, it works well. It does add some extra stakes to have to worry about for that kind of layout, but it can be tied to either side or up.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just trying to get some air out in there, so I got it rolled all the way up. But this whole thing zips down, and like Jay says, that's where a lot of times we'll store any of the spare gear that we don't want in the tent stinking things up, like boots. But we don't want them rained on either. So
pretty sweet.
Works out well for that.
Nice. Awesome. All right. That's all the setups for camp tonight. Now it might be wood prep time for fire.
Yeah.
It's getting there because we have an epic dinner planned, and it's going to take a bit. So let's get this doing.
I had 4 pounds of chocolate and a pound of filet, and I'm like, well,
Just ground it up. Oh man, that hurts.
We are waiting for dinner to cook. If you're interested in finding out what food is for today, make sure you check next week's video out because it's pretty epic and it definitely deserves its own little showcase. So yeah, I promise it's definitely worth it. Check it out. But we're talking about the sky. Earlier when we came in, it was bright blue, nice sun, few clouds. It's actually gotten pretty overcast right now. It is just about 5:30 and it got dark pretty quick. So we're wondering if maybe our weather reports were not accurate, but Dan actually brought up a very valid point. What'd you say, Dan?
the Adirondacks, it kind of makes its own weather.
Yeah, it's very true. So that hissing sound, that's part of dinner. Like I said, check out that video. It's going to be good. Well, the guys are going to go do some dishes after food, and I wanted to check out right past the outhouse here at the lean-to, because it looks like a nice clearing. Should be fun. So like I said earlier, the West Stony Creek lean-to is new. It was built, I believe, in 2018. I think it was finished right near the fall of 2018. So that's pretty awesome. New facilities. You can tell it's new because there's actually a lot of dead and downed wood over here still. So we haven't had to try too hard to find any fuel for the fire, which is really nice. So, oh yeah, look at this opening. Very cool. Looks to me like this is where they got the logs for the lean-to. Very cool. We've got dessert. Strawberry, some fluff. Let's get it good. Oh, that's really good. Maybe? Oh, well, now it's on the thing. That's okay. Boom. Now we're gonna roast that. Check it.
It was pretty good even with the marshmallows too. So.
It was better than I expected it to be. So I thought it was gonna be okay, and then I ate one and I was like, that's pretty damn good. Oh, no, it's not a lot, but it's good.
Oh my god. John,
Yes,
dude,
it's better than you expected, even, right?
better than I expected.
I expected it to be good, but it is delicious.
That's really good. Strawberries, dipped in fluff. Got some on my lip. Toasted. Try it out. It's really good. That was pre-dessert. That's the dessert before the actual dessert. It's really good.
Appetizer, some would say.
Yes, the dessert appetizer. That was awesome.
What's that? Tree. Getting ready to fall on Jay.
I need some of those Disney toys.
Mark, why'd you bring us girly drinks? So it is dessert 30, and we're trying to figure out what kind of pies we're going to make. So Dan is actually making dessert. Let's check this out. What's he got going on today?
So you may remember from our adventure in the Ronda, get her out of my heart, wilderness. We did pie iron pies. Well, we're doing the same thing, except instead of a gigantic tube of black raspberry, I brought a not so heavy can of apple pie filling. The problem we're having is I wanted to do apple pie with chocolate. However,
We can do that.
John is considering adding marshmallow fluff to it, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Let's do all three. We can do another one of just
we'll do another
chocolate,
one that's just apple.
chocolate and apple. But let's do chocolate, apple, and marshmallow.
So use half of the chocolate.
Planning! Haha! The key when you're making these on a backpacking trip is multiple titanium sporks.
It adds the flavor value.
Oh no! Sit. Stay. Daisy's looking at me like, what I am. So we took it off the fire, and it turns out I didn't burn it, which is great, because, people were going to get real angry at me for some reason. But they look pretty good.
Oh, that does look good. Ooh.
Get one section of each in this guy.
Didn't get the goo drip like I expected.
In the field, we call that the cheese bowl.
Just finished some dessert. Figured I'd come down and enjoy the West Stony Creek a little bit. Looks like we got some interesting clouds coming in from over there, but we'll see. So, it's just me and Daisy. Say hi, Daisy. She's an awesome hiking buddy. Yeah, it's beautiful out here. It's been a great day. I'm really glad the guys came with me, and it's shaping up to be a very entertaining night. So, it's great. Just gonna hang out here for a few minutes and really take it all in. I think I see on this rock out here someone's trekking pole. I'm gonna go get Dan because he's got his sandals, and see if we can go recover that real quick and maybe bring it out to the trailhead for sure. Two reasons: one, maybe somebody can get it back, and two, just to get it out of the water. It doesn't belong there, so that's really funny. Feel bad for whoever lost it. Hopefully it wasn't anybody recently. Yeah, let's go get that. Yeah. Dan came. Hey, Dan. He's the only one with sandals on, so he's actually gonna head out and get that trekking pole for us right now.
It's okay. Daisy's coming with me.
Yeah, everything's safe. Yay, Dan! Yay! Victory!
Victory and glory!
All right, Dan did a good job. He's a good Samaritan today. If you lost a pole out here on the Northville Placid Trail right at West Stony Creek, send me a message, and if you can describe it, then cool. I'll make sure it gets back to you.
Heading over to check out the West Stony Creek lean-to. Here it's beautiful. I did lose my trekking pole crossing West Stony. I slipped out, I dropped it, and it was gone in seconds.
Well, it's still a little light out. Let's go handle one of these.
So we're sitting around the fire, having a good night, having some good conversations, and I was just telling the guys that it's interesting because this morning I had nervous guts. Like, I don't know why, because John and I, we've already been out here,
Yeah.
you know, in this area. We've already hiked this. We know what the trail looks like. We know what to expect. I've been hiking with these guys for years now, and
We are reasonably competent at this. We just choose to do things differently.
yeah, we like to have a good time. So honestly, I don't know why my guts get nervous. I don't know. Do you guys have that at all ever?
Not this morning. I was anxious last night.
Were you?
Yeah, where I haven't been hiking in a while either.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was like, do I have everything? Did I pack too much weight again? Because the NPT was my trail where I packed way too much weight and didn't have as good of a time. But so last night I was definitely anxious, but this morning I was totally fine. I was ready to go.
Yeah, John hasn't been out for a long time because congratulations
Yep.
are in order.
Had
He's got a new baby daughter at home.
Yep.
So
Baby,
yay.
baby Zoe,
Baby Zoe.
a few months old now.
That's awesome. What about you, Mark? Do you get nervous guts at all?
I don't really get nervous guts. Sometimes I might get anxiety and not sleep well because I'm thinking about the stuff I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like my sandals,
Yep.
which I forgot. So you run into those things, but again, with such a short hike, it's not really something that anything I forgot wasn't going to be the end of the world.
Yep.
Unless it was like maybe my tent, but even so, we had a lean-to. So I mean, a sleeping pad maybe that would be a little unfortunate, but
You could live one night. Like,
Yeah, it's one night. I'd
But
figure
see,
it out.
If I forgot one ingredient for that stew, I would have been upset.
upset, but we still would have ate like kings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was also
survived.
anxious though because I was leaving my wife home with a newborn and a 3 and a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
For the first time too. So that was part of my. And I'm still nervous about that right now as she's home with them, and I have no idea like how they are treating her right now. So
Well, hopefully by now they're just asleep, but
you would hope.
Social anxiety.
Okay.
I get anxious when we're hiking with new people or different people, but the only emotion I felt this morning was excitement. My alarm hadn't even gone off, and I'm wide awake staring at the ceiling going, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. My wife's just like, get out of bed.
So, I don't know if any of you have any of those types of anxieties or nervous guts or whatever you want to call it, but it definitely helps to have a lot of good friends to talk about it and kind of just explain how you're feeling. So, we all feel that same way. So just know that it's not just you, it's everybody, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And then you get to come out and have an amazing time.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's good stuff.
And
Make
you gotta
sure you do it.
expect that not everything will go as planned.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll go better than planned.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it goes better, and sometimes it goes completely sideways, and that's okay too.
All right, it is about 11 o'clock, and fire's dead. We're all pretty whooped, and I think it's bedtime. So we will see you in the morning. I had a great day today. It's good to have the guys out. Good morning, everyone. I love sleeping in my hammock. It's always the greatest night's sleep. Oh man, so good. It got pretty windy last night, like when we were sleeping in the middle of the night, and there was a few times where some of the trees were creaking and stuff, but nothing too bad. It was awesome. So, yeah, I hear some of the guys are up. Daisy's up, moving around, doing her thing. So I'm gonna get out of bed and go get this fire started for breakfast. Looking forward to that. Ow, hot. Fire's hot.
Watch as the 80K Woodswalker learns something that cavemen have known for thousands of years.
All right, for breakfast this morning, we have spicy ground sausage, eggs, cheese, and we're going to put it all in one of those pie irons and eat like kings. That's pretty much been the theme of this camping trip, I think. Eating really, really well. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's gonna be good.
That'd be pretty epic.
No cheese pull.
Oh.
Still looks really good.
I thought you were gonna get it with that one leaking cheese.
Breakfast was amazing. It was a really good idea. Sausage, egg, cheese inside the little bread pie iron things. Thumbs up. I definitely recommend it. Pie irons are heavy, so I don't recommend, doing a long trip with them, but yeah. The guys are getting ready to break down their camps, so do a quick tour of mine and then I will break it down as well. Starting at the top, I've got a 12-foot Hammock Gear Journey tarp, and I recently added the shock cord mitten hook mod that I found online. I'll link it below. It's pretty awesome. It lets you fold the doors back or close them tight to each other, which is awesome. I have the 11-foot zippered bug net hammock from Hammock Gear as well. It's awesome. It has the ridge line. I've got whoopee slings on each end. I think I mentioned last night I label my red end as my head end, and then I've got gray on the other side. Hammock Gear 20-degree underquilt, and this is my Mass Drop pine blanket, 40 degrees. Kept me nice and toasty last night. And a new Trekology pillow because my last one popped somehow. But yeah, that's my setup, and keeps me warm, safe, and dry when we're out on the trail. So I'm pretty happy with it. But now it's time to break it down and start thinking about our trek back home. For a long time I had 2 stuff sacks for my insulation, but I decided to try a few things. So I got this Aegis Max small compression sack, and honestly, both the 40-degree top quilt and the 20-degree underquilt fit in here with some creative pushing and smushing. Thankfully, down compresses really well, and it's not really that big a deal. But yeah, I'll show you what I do. You got this little top thing. Make sure it's extended all the way. Come around. A little clip right here on this side. Extend that. And then you just cinch it all down. Go around it equally, best you can. And make the whole thing much, much smaller. So this is perfect for hiking, but never store your quilts like this. Make sure you leave your down quilts out and able to loft up. You can hang them like a curtain rod, or get a big dryer bag and put them in that. But yeah, you don't want to store them for long term with this, but for backpacking, since you're going to use it every night, or if you're going to walk home and open it up, this is perfect. All right, like any good adventure, before we get on the trail, we got to make sure we've got water, and since we're in the middle of the backcountry, the only way to do that is to filter it. Thankfully, we've got West Stony Creek here, and it's running pretty smooth and fast, so we'll fill up this bag, and everybody's going to get a little filtered water before we start the trek. It's nice. The way the creek is moving fills the bag up real quick. Done. All right, we're getting ready to leave camp, packing up the bags, and I wanted to kind of do a little segment on properly putting out your campfire and making sure it's fully extinguished, because in the last few weeks here in the Adirondacks, there's actually been a lot of fires that were resultant of people not putting their fire out properly. So we're going to show you how we do it, and hopefully that helps you figure out how to do it yourself. All right, we got our logs, and we're going to spread them out a little bit. Make sure we got everything out here. John's got a big bucket of water, and we're going to pour some on, stir it around, pour some on, stir it around.
You want it right in the middle?
Yeah,
or on all of it?
Go all over it. Spread the log. Okay. And sometimes this is going to take you more than one bucket of water, or jug of water, or whatever you've got. So just, it's important that you do it right, though. 'cause even little embers like that could start problems. Go ahead, put some more on there. All right, I think we're gonna have to go get another bucket of water, but the important thing is you can't put too much water on it, right? Because unattended fires is bad news. So make sure it's completely drowned and do your part to make sure that you don't cause any extra issues. All right, just left the lean-to, checking out West Stony Creek again, and we actually are doing something a little different on the way back. Since John and I already did this section of Northville Placid Trail, we're gonna head back the way we came because that's where the cars are. We need to get those. Dan and Mark haven't done this section, so Dan, Mark, and Daisy are gonna cross West Stony Creek, and we're gonna meet them down near the Guilford Valley Road trailhead on the other end. So should be interesting, should be a good time.
Hey,
Most importantly, the only person that has a any sort of water crossing shoes is Dan.
that's unfortunate.
So there's three options here. One, Mark walks across in his boots, not a good option. Two, Mark walks across in bare feet, also not a good option. Or option three, which I think this is what's gonna happen.
Well, it's gonna be tried.
It's gonna be tried. Dan's gonna cross with Daisy. Daisy's got a harness on with a carabiner. He's going to clip his sandals to Daisy. Mark's gonna call Daisy back across the water and bring the sandals. So we're gonna watch this unfold. Should be fun or epic, or both.
All right, good luck, Dan.
Bobby!
Make sure Daisy knows you have jerky.
He made it. They both made it. Now let's see if phase two works. Okay. Daisy has the sandals on her. Now she's gonna come back this way.
Come here, Dave. Good girl. Gonna be a hero. Sorry, Dave. You won't have to wear some that. You got it. You got it. Keep coming.
Yeah, Daisy! You're awesome!
Almost here.
Honestly, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and it worked really, really well. And now we know everything's gonna be perfectly fine, so that was a huge win. Daisy, you're a rock star, baby. Daisy girl. Hi. All right, final phase. Mark has unstrapped his belt and his chest strap just in case. And now he is going to cross the creek. Daisy's gonna do it for the third time, and we're gonna meet them at the trailhead near Guilford Valley. So good luck, have fun, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, guys.
Now those rocks are really, really slippery, and there's a pretty good current, so it's important that Mark's got both his poles out, and he's taking his time testing each step before he goes and actually fully commits, because otherwise he's going to end up soaking wet, and that's never a good day. So far, so good, though. And they made it. That's awesome. Great. Nice work, guys. See you later. That was wicked. Cool. so we said goodbye to Dan, Mark, and Daisy. They successfully forded the creek, and they are on their way. That was super epic and very impressive, I think.
They didn't lose any oxen or bullets or children. They forded it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. John and I are going to make our way back to Benson Road Trailhead. There's not much difference, so I'm actually going to end the video here today, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you like outdoor adventure videos, backpacking, camping, cooking in the middle of the woods, any of that stuff, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to be super epic. But most importantly, I hope that we've inspired you to get outside and do something awesome. We'll see you next time.